community founded by Mr. Vivek Dixit, which provides knowledge about internships, debate, and moot court competitions. It focused on promoting legal awareness through webinars and competitions for scholars, which is beneficial for all law students. Now, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Ms. Shivani Gupta ma'am. She is currently working as a faculty member at Kedarnath Girdhari Lal Khatri PG College in Muradabad. Now, I would like to, I would like you to want to hand over you, ma'am. Please.
Thank you, Yusra. Good evening, everyone. Please clear one thing. Am I clearly audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Due to some of the network glitch, okay, Sarthak. Due to the some of the network glitch, I am not turning on the camera because the call size also just get disturbed. So yes, we will start. Can we start the session?
Yes, for sure, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Yusra. Yes, dear participant, first of all, thank you for giving your time. And yes, today's session is all about the dialogue session is all about the online dispute resolution, the future of ADR in the digital age. This is the topic on which we're gonna elaborate today. We're gonna learn something new. Meanwhile, I am just delivering the session. If you have any queries or doubts, please put in the chat box or in the at last of the session in the 5 to 10 minutes we will take each and every question related to every aspect, because as you seeing upon the screen that title that I have mentioned is the first thing is ODR, online dispute resolution, and the next term that is ADR, the alternate dispute resolution, and the third term is the digital age, means the modern era. So we're gonna discuss first of all about the ADR, what the context of the ADR is, then what is the ODR, and what is the future, what the key role the ADR gonna play in the upcoming time, in the time of a AI, because it's the age of an AI that we also known as the digital age. As we all know, as the technology changed the way individuals interact, it has also changed the way we resolve our disputes. We already know that. And with the technological advancement, a new notion of the dispute settlement that is known as the ODR, or abbreviated for the online dispute resolution, has emerged, changing the picture dramatically in just few months. Catalyzed by the situation of the outbreak of the COVID-19, non-physical activities, for example, virtual hearing and e-filing, have increased significantly. In the late 1990s, ODR growth coincided with the expansion of the internet facility. Initially, dear participants, e-commerce websites such as Amazon, Flipkart, Zepto employed the online dispute resolution to promote the customer trust by promptly and efficiently addressing the disputes. The platforms enabled the customers to lodge a complaint and commence the resolution processes online. If the settlement attempt fails, an online mediation processes would commence. The platform was also designed to diagnose the problem and conduct automated negotiation, followed by the mediation or followed by the arbitration, means any of the mode of alternate dispute resolution. This concept, which was since evolved into the sophisticated variations that are extensively employed by various private businesses and governments alike, is popularly referred to as the ODR, abbreviated for online dispute resolution. Many countries like the United States, Canada, Singapore, Netherlands pioneered ODR later on. Subsequently, the practice of resolving the disputes online has been integrated by many other countries of the globe. Now, Farah is a jurist that also defined ODR to mean utilizing the information technology to carry out alternative dispute resolution. Shiasta also explained that the online dispute resolution comprises of a process to resolve dispute exclusively online, and also other disputes resolution process that uses the internet. As a valuable and useful as the internet has been to us, it nevertheless has its negatives. Many intrusive activities are linked to its use, which can lead to the variety of e-disputes such as invasion of the privacy, cyber terrorism, breach of the e-contracts, identity theft, and so on. ADR encompasses not only e-disputes that are unique to the internet but also traditional disputes that can be addressed using the information technology, such as unfair trade practices, intellectual property infringements, including the copyright infringement, trademark infringement, and so on. So now one thing comes into the mind, why there is a need for the online dispute resolution system in India, why there is a need for the ODR. So yes, as we have already witnessed that our country has seen a rapid growth in the field of a lawful means, from conventional courts to adopting alternate means of dispute, which fostered the development of arbitration, conciliation, mediation, judicial settlements, and the local adalats. The primary underlying issue doesn't lie in the right means to access justice, but to the increased number of cases filed on the daily basis. This is not only reduces the court workload, but it also speeds up the delivery of the justice and makes it more cost effective for the general public. The process of ADR involves physical proceedings, which are most of the time barred by the geographical limitations. And during the time of a COVID 19, also such limitations have become peculiar. And in order to overcome such a situation, it is needed that we adapt to utilize potentially advantageous solutions called the ODR, that is online dispute resolution. It also provides us with the recourse of settling disputes through the online means in the form of arbitration, negotiation, or the mediation with the use of modern technology like video conferencing and online circulation of the documents. The emergence of the ODR in India can be both cost effective and the less time consuming. It would further be beneficial to disputes which are left unheard because of various reasons, either due to cost or time issues, such as disputes can take recourse of the ODR, which is both cost efficient and less time consuming. Now, amid the outbreak of the COVID 19, disputes related to the lending, property, credit, commerce, and retail that are being resolved through the ODR, which is one of the impactful part of the economic revival. There have been the certain cases where the courts have recognized the need of the having ODR procedures across the courts. In the light of a COVID-19 pandemic, even the present Chief Justice Sir has emphasized the importance of taking efforts to make courts virtual in order to avoid the shutdown of the top courts. ODR resolution methods in India is at the initial stage, and with the time and more people are taking the recourse of the ODR for the purpose of resolving the disputes. Many ODR platforms have established, such as Sama is there. There is another, that is the CADRE cadre is there, Center of Online Dispute Resolution. Agami is there, and there are such centers. Niti Ayog, in the collaboration with the Omidyar and Network India and the Agami, recently hosted a meeting also on catalyzing online dispute resolution in India, where the key stakeholders were brought together to work cooperatively to ensure that the attempts to scale online dispute resolution in India are made. During the conference, it was sorry, during, am I clearly audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. During the conference, it was agreed that the ODR has a huge amount of the potential for India, especially when it comes to the small and medium sized conflicts. It has the potential to improve access to the justice and ease of doing business. Since effective conflict resolution will be essential in revitalizing the economy in the midst of the COVID 19. The Supreme Court also pioneered the growth of the ODR in India. Recently, in the state of Maharashtra versus Dr. Praful B. Desai, the Supreme Court of India also ruled that video conferencing is an admissible means of recording witness testimony. As a result, the legislative framework as well as the precedent set by the Supreme Court of India encourages the use of the technology for the dispute resolution and encourages the implementation of ODR techniques. It also clear from the combined reading of the earlier that is the Indian Evidence Act of the 1872, the Arbitration and the Conciliation Act of 1996, and the Information Technology Act of 2000, that the Indian laws are also provide for the legality and technological viability of the ODR processes. Even we also now have virtual court facility in a country that enables the litigants to file the plaint electronically through the e-filing and also pay the court fees and the fine or through the online portal. And then the litigant can also view the status of the case also online through the various channels for the created for the service delivery. It's also noteworthy that the an average every judge in India is allocated 1350 cases, whereas his counterpart in the US is required to deal with the only 388 cases. As a result, promoting and strengthening a technology driven dispute resolution process not only appears promising for the attorneys but also improves the efficiency of the Indian legal system. Now comes the another aspect, dear participants, that is what is the advantages of the ODR. Because in the title slide only, also I have mentioned the future. Future means we are taking the thing as a prompt. So, what are the advantages? We will like to focus upon them. So, the main advantages or the benefits of the ODR could be like speedy resolution. What kind of speedy resolution? One of the prominent advantages of the ODR, and that is the less time consuming in comparison to the conventional courts. As there has been a significant increase in the number of disputes involving consumer issues, transactions, and the other issues, the most convenient choice appears to the ODR that provides an efficient basis for implementing a speedier dispute resolution system. On the other hand, where ADR takes several months to pass on award, ODR offers a dispute resolution in the matter of weeks. Now, then another is the feasible from the financial standpoint. Why? Because it's not only provide the speedy resolution but is also economically viable. As the process of the arbitration involves physical proceedings, which are most of the time barred by the geographical limitation. Traveling and being present physically is in itself become expensive and complicated. Third advantage is it's possible to avoid the complex jurisdictional difficulties. One of the prominent issues of the geographical limitations can be avoided with the help of ODR. It further remodels the system of or dispute resolution from the justice administered in the courtroom to the service that can be availed anywhere. Now, there another advantage, not last not the least, but is the useful in resolving the cross-border disputes. Yes, in order to address the issue regarding the cross-border disputes, the early adoption of the ODR has been focused on resolving the e-commerce transactions where the parties are located in the different jurisdictions, as well as the low value disputes arising out of both business to business as well as business to consumer transactions where going to court makes little economic sense. Now comes the aspect that is the future aspect. ODR, yes, is the future to the access of the justice. Why? Because Richard Susskind propounds that the axis of the justice encompasses four layers: legal health promotion, dispute avoidance, dispute containment, and authoritative dispute resolution. He points out that the traditional court system has only been concerned with the latter of the two these issues. He is correct because that remark holds true for both India and the US. When it comes to the resolving conflicts and keeping the court system operational on a very virtual level, the country's judiciary has consistently turned to the technology. However, the moment has come for the emphasis to shift from dispute resolution to the dispute avoidance, containment, and enhancing the overall legal health of the country. Investigating in the ODR through the use of more advanced second generation technologies can assist India in its transition to a future judicial system. Newer ODR technology is one that has not only used legal principles but also expanded to better economic principles for settling civil disputes are expected to come from the private sector, as has been the case of the ODR thus so far. The court and the administration must collaborate with all the skills and adopt them for the benefit of the general public, thereby making it imperative for them to do so. As a difficult it may be fathom, the future of the dispute resolution focuses in technology and perhaps artificial intelligence. It is possible that ODR will play a significant role in the part in this by developing approaches for more unbiased evaluation of the legal connections in order to take early action. In terms of the institutional readiness, expertise, and the technology capacity, it is clear that India has already possessed the key elementary necessary to implement a comprehensive framework for the use of the technology in the dispute resolution and by the medium of the online dispute resolution method under the ADR. The participants who are raising their hands, just put their hands down, and if you have any query, then please put in the chat box. Yes, now the settlement strategies have gone a long way in the human civilization through the years. Fast and the inexpensive resolution of the disputes has been a primary objective for the creation of the ODR mechanism. With the enormous expansion of the online market, the ODR mechanism, yeah, it's okay, Renuka. With the enormous expansion of the online market, the ODR mechanism require widespread public knowledge and training, which may be achieved through social media, education, street plays, marketing, conferences, seminars, roundtable conferences, campaigns, among other means at the grassroots level. The participation of the government is also extremely significant in granting the financial assistance to the ODR projects and assisting in the development of the technical and administrative infrastructure necessary for the establishment of an ODR process. To ensure that all the groups of the society have the access to the justice, it imperative that the system's reach be expanded to include as many as possible of them. Strong infrastructure for easy access and for ensuring that justice is delivered in a timely and adequate manner must be built by increasing literacy rates, in reducing the languages and the cultural barriers, and also by providing a clear, easy access to the e-courts as maybe a stepping stone towards achieving the already mentioned goals. Consequently, advanced ODR online dispute resolution is an important step is also in the facilitating global concord and encouraging the international cooperation in the resolution of all the cross-body disputes. Now, under the category of the ODR, that is the resolution of the disputes, particularly when it comes to the small and the medium value cases, using the digital technology and the techniques of the ADR mechanisms such as the negotiation, mediation, and the arbitration. Now a question comes to in mind, why there is it in news that we are just talking about the ADR as a traditional method. Now on we are discussing the dispute settlement in the online method also in the as per the AI age also. Yes, so in the year, it was the year June 2020, and the Niti Ayog in the association with the Agami also brought together, where the key stakeholders in the virtual meeting already decided, and there were certain senior judges of the Supreme Court also. They also talk about the same. They and considering the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, then the handbook on the ODR was developed. That handbook is available on the internet, you can download from there. That is developed by the Ogami and Omidr in India. Then that is a very important handbook, and you people can download it. Now when it comes to the background, that how it started, what's the origin of the ODR. So yes, ODR development across the world can be divided, as I already talked, into the three phases. The first phase I already talked, eBay experiment. eBay experiment leads the way that it like the by the 2010, the eBay was handling over 60 million disputes per year through the ODR platform. Second phase was the boom of the ODR startups. Now that is the few of the successful platforms such as the cyber settle is there, smart settle is there, mediation room is there, that are being able to make a remarkable impact in the dispute resolution ecosystem. And the third phase is about the adoption of the government and the adoption by the government and the judiciary. So yes, in the after the 2020, the handbook was released, and the it was also adopted by the government and the judiciary both. Now when it comes to the in the context of a country, there is a timeline that how the ODR development went through in our country. It was the year 2006, first of all. I am just talking about the timeline now. In the year 2006, National Internet Exchange of India adopted I and domain name dispute resolution policy, that is INDRP, which provided the ODR. Now we can jump into the year 2011, where Chennai hosted the 10th annual International Forum for ODR. Now comes the year 2017. Ministry of Law and Justice issued a statement to urge government agencies to resolve the disputes through the online arbitration. Comes the year 2018. Ministry of MSME launched the Samadhan portal is there to address the delays in the payment disputes involving micro and the small enterprises. In the year 2019, EADR challenges were launched to identify and support the ODR startup. Year 2020 was a very important year, crucial year, because there were certain uh, uh, steps were taken. First of all, the government of India launched the Vivad se Vishwas scheme for the efficient resolution of the tax dispute through the ODR. Next is the Vidhi Center for the Legal Policy published a report on mainstreaming ODR in India. Followed by the Niti Aayog established a committee under the chairmanship of a justice retired, that is the Justice A.K. Sikri, to broad-base the use of the ODR in India. Followed up by the Chhattisgarh conducted the first virtual Lok Adalat and provide the conciliation services. And it's an important point for the law students who are pursuing their BA LLB. Just the Chhattisgarh was the first state just to conduct the virtual Lok Adalat, and they just provide the conciliation services. Then now next is the department related parliamentary standing committee on the personal public grievances, law and justice in their report called the introduction of the technology in the arbitration and the conciliation process. So this was the timeline for the development of the ODR in our country. Now I already talked about the COVID-19 pandemic and what the things happened there. But I have also discussed about the what are the benefits of ODR. Now we will discuss about. I will take a 1 minute only. That is the current status of the dispute resolution. Yes, although we have observed a rise in the ranking of the ease of doing business, we have lot more room to cover in the enforcing contracts. We are ranked 163rd in the contract enforcement, which is marginal improvement from the rank 186th. Now we have fare poorly in the time taken and cost of management also, rather than more than 30% of the project cost for the obligations. Now important aspect is what are the challenges of ODR. So first challenge is the digital literacy. Yes, ODR requires a basic level of the digital literacy as a prerequisite. In India, in a country, digital literacy often varies across ages, ethnicity, and the geography. The digital divides need This digital divide needs to be addressed to ensure that the ODR is adopted by the society at large and not remain limited to the urban areas. Next is the digital infrastructure. A broad-based adoption of the ODR will require essential technology infrastructure across the country. Now, next challenge is the lack of the trust in the ODR services. Very important and crucial also. Why? Because a lot of people in a country do not trust the emerging technology, which is a major challenge for the people of India. Next is the privacy and the confidentiality concerns. Greater integration of the technology and reduced face-to-face interactions always create a new challenges for the privacy and confidentiality, especially in the dispute resolution. But yes, there is a way forward also, and I will conclude my remark with the way forward that although the amendments along with the judicial decisions in the recent years have put India on the right path, we need to incentivize the use of the ODR as a default dispute resolution tool. With the rising online transaction, fast tracking enforcement of the ODR, that is the need of the hour. Niti Aayog claims that a country is uniquely positioned to emerge as the epicenter for the development in ODR. We need to solve the issue of funding, infrastructure, and public policy support to make it happen. And that's all from my side. Yes, the participants, if having any doubt, then please ask. Yes, Vidushi. I just
Good evening, ma'am.
good
Good
evening.
evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a question about ODR. Ma'am, you talked about privacy related issues
Mm-hmm.
in ODR.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, I want to know if there are situations when we are seeing that Zomato or Uber, Ola are going to charge more for Android people and more for iPhone. Sorry, less for Android and more for iPhone. So I do want to know when we are in reality when we are going to go for the online dispute resolution, our privacy is secured or not, because there are situations when a person who is going to for the ODR as compared to other going to consumer court, his or her identity is secured or not, because ma'am, in many cases we have seen that there is no security for that cases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vidushi, good evening. You talked about three things. First of all, you talked about that the Zomato and the Swiggy food services are charging more from the Android users, and sorry, less from the Android users, and they are making the more of the bill from the iPhone users, Apple users. Actually, this was published 4 years ago on Instagram. It was just scrolling through, but there is no reality in such news. First of all, we don't have to be falling trap of such things because we really don't have the evidence. If a person just putting two mobiles together, one is of iPhone and another is of Android, and he's saying okay, the price of the thigh curry is 300 upon the Android and 500, there must be some of a kind of a lag or technical glitch also. We can't challenge it.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
sorry, I called it Zomato, but I also included the part of like iPhone.
Hmm.
Uh, sorry, not iPhone, but Ola and Uber, ma'am. There is situation when I have
Yeah, yeah.
personally felt that situation.
Okay. So that may be the on lag on the behalf or glitch on the behalf of a app only. Okay. Next you have talk about what is the how we just go with the privacy. What are the concerns? Look, the when we are using the ODR and we are using the ODR as a method for the dispute settlement, then look at the advantages. First of all, then only we can realize that we have to rely upon the ODR or not. When we come to the advantages, yes, it is cost effective. Yes, the ODR provides the effective resolutions. Yes, ODR is just reducing the burden on the courts also, and ODR is also saving the person's time also. Next, yes, there are certain disputes, corporate disputes that can be resolved easily by the ODR. So, and regarding the privacy concern, if it's just much like if you are so much talking about the privacy, you must have the little bit of the trust in your system or where you are investing your data, and also you must have little bit of the trust because government is also doing a lot for maintaining the privacy. So we can't take, and if manually we go through, then also our privacy is breached na? Because we have to put the Xerox copy of Aadhaar card and everything, then there also privacy can be breached. So online dispute resolution is more about, it's not talking about the privacy issue, it's more about how much it is beneficial. And we first of all we start taking the thing as a, yes, the ODR is beneficial, yes, it is time saving, it is cost effective, then only we can go for it.
Okay, ma'am, but ma'am, I also have another question.
Hmm.
What is the difference between court annexed ODR and a private? Ma'am, even though we do know that ODR is going to save the burden on the courts, but ma'am,
Hmm.
when sometime a person is going for a customer care service for anything, like for any product review or for any
Hmm.
problem solving situation when we face in one app
Hmm.
or even in banking apps.
Hmm.
Ma'am, what about that situation? In that case, our private information is taken away, because ma'am, I once suffered from
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
And even the ODR situation, I was ready to like, please, bro, you can talk to me and tell me what is the problem. Why are you not giving me my solution?
Hmm. Hmm.
And the thing is, ma'am, till date, I haven't got this ODR solution as it was done by private, because I, at that moment, was a minor as well at that moment. So, till now, I suffer from that problem, and I am like, when I talk to you, when I tell you, then the problem, they are like, ma'am, there is no complaint
Hmm.
registered. So, ma'am, please
Hmm.
do tell how do we will increase the efficiency, as well as how we will make sure that the ODR is going to give us the good result, not the
Okay.
result which they think the party who is earlier was also in the having some big end of the stick, as well as till now he is
Hmm.
having the big end of the stick. How to make sure that even the person who is having the shorter end of the stick is also getting the who is the victim here is also getting the benefits.
Okay. So, Vidushe, you have so many questions. Just must in one question. You started with the customer care services and the ODR. First of all, there is no comparison between the customer care services and the ODR. Okay. Now, the another thing is that yes, I am again saying that there are certain challenges. When you discuss about your problem, that you are not getting the efficient solution to your problem, or you are not just getting satisfied, or privacy concerns are there, and rather than that, customer care services are not the legal thing. They are not obliged to just settle the disputes or solve the problem. Here we will discuss about that the how the ODR can just solve the problem permanently and efficiently. So look, now we will discuss about the challenges, because once you come with the challenges, you are just known with the challenges, then it would be easy for you. Yes, Vidushi, please turn off your mic, because the voice is lagging. Yes, so first of all, yes, digital literacy is a big challenge, because for the ODR just to perform well, for the ODR just to resolve the disputes particularly, yes, there is a digital literacy that is clearly varies across the age, ethnicity, and the geography in our country. And yes, digital divides are also needed to be addressed, so that we can ensure that the ODR is adopted by society at large and not remaining to the particular areas. Next thing, the challenge is that there is a lack of trust. So now, because in our country, no, most of the people don't trust in the emerging technologies. That is also big major challenge, that we can't put fear for most of the faith in the technology and all. Next is the another digital infrastructure. So yes, a broad-based adoption of the ODR that will also require the essential technology infrastructure across the country. So yes, still now there are certain challenges. We have to overcome the challenges step by step. Then only it can be like okay, like the original or the manual court system or judiciary system, we can address the issue. So we have to just
Um,
keep in faith. Yes, Vidushi.
okay. Ma'am, what are the technological infrastructure that can be used to increase the efficiency of ODR?
First of all, is the in the every part in the remote area of the country, the availability of the internet services. It's the 4G or the 5G internet spectrum must be there in the every geographical jurisdiction of the country. Next is the digital literacy, that are the most important challenge, that the person must be acquainted with how to use the laptop, how to use the e-code services app, how to use the browser, and these are the little things, and but the big challenges, and these need to be ensured addressed, to ensure that the ODR can work particularly, and so we can interest in them. It's a wait and watch like thing.
Okay, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
But ma'am, I also have one another question.
Yes.
What happens when the other party is not responding to the ODR notice or something else? What
Okay.
should the victim party should do here?
Uh,
What should the consumer do?
Actually, yes, one thing. Vidushi, you have asked that the other party is not just responding to what is your summons or everything. Okay, look,
Yes.
ADR is the system, is the mechanism where both of the parties want a solution. So when both of the parties come together, they want to settle their disputes all together, and by their mutual consent, then only the ADR mechanism is being adopted. So in the case of a ADR mechanism, any of the party, either of the party is not responding, then you can just file the civil suit or the criminal case, whatever is being required. It's not necessary. ADR is the mechanism where both the parties mutually decided that okay, out of the court or by the not legal processes, we will just settle the disputes. So it's like that. It's not about one of the parties not responding. If yes, one of the parties withdrawal their consent, then yes, you have the other method challenges methods also. You can challenge the you can file the suit in the court. You can challenge them in court. Courts are always there.
Ma'am, is there any major case laws which can show that the person got a good justice just because of this ODR, or because I have seen many cases in I have read about many consumer court cases where the victim got the true essence of the justice and equity, good consents from the courts. Look, until now, I haven't found a solution which was like up to the pitch.
Okay, have you ever heard about the name of the family court? So yes, matrimonial disputes either related to the maintenance, either related to the divorce, either related to the domestic violence, either related to any of the matrimonial disputes that are being addressed now by the process of arbitration only. Only the mediation process is there, where both the parties are